when I read those, well, on the next video, I've been watching all these videos, and there's some very strange facts. First strange fact, when they cut scene to the characters that are men that I like most identify with, like Osiris, there's a different face. They have a different bearded animation character that looks like myself. So I started watching these like, well, if I'm just as much every bit these gods, and I believe that's the case, because my conclusion is to I've followed the clues to unlock a period of my life and the awakening, because I'm assuming that having first time traveled to myself and scared myself as a ghost, it was only reasonably left to conclude that the typewriter typed me a clue. And once it did, since it put that into a ritual sort of labyrinth or gauntlet to run through on Super Bowl day, despite whatever fucking other reasons there were to have the experience that I had, it validated that clue was a key for me to unlock verification of certain facts about myself that I know. So during this period of time, I have been sort of in the Hecate mode, and I watched this video, and it says about every place that it talks about a crossroad, it's got in there every like animated humor, time of day, everything there, from the old man going home being my dad to the courageous female that wanted courage being my friend Eden. Everything about the next video I could look at and be, that happened in my life. And if all of them say it's been 3,000 years, it's Isis's 3,000 years. On hers, it's 3,000 years of burnout, doing the same, putting back Osiris, and it goes through it. But every one of those I've watched so far is significant to me. And then when I look in the background, I see that they change the head and have this bearded guide's head. So I have to take it as a clue to myself that these beings are enough me to consider it to be the case. And I just had another experience, because the guy showed up one more time, and I made him come inside, and I put all the tables there, and I stepped on the floor, and there was some, what I thought was some electrical pieces that we had. It was something that he left, and why that would be the final clue. Because like, just to have that experience that I just had of somebody dropping their stuff on the floor, the significance of it, because before I knew that, I was watching something else, and they basically said it, which I thought was weird, because I was like, this is weird. So all these things have tied back into being a consciousness thing. And I mean, this is not limited to me, but I'm saying for me it's great, because I have my own personal life experience. For anyone else that would wonder or think, what are they? What's going on here? It should serve great to inspire you that means those things are you too. I want you to watch this, because I see something in it and I want to share it.
The smell of myrrh incense hits your nostrils before you even fully open your eyes. Your 3 eternal torches are lit in the corners of your room, because apparently sleeping in the dark is for weak mortals. You get up feeling the weight of 3,000 years of accumulated wisdom and a backache that no divine chiropractor can fix. Outside, your dogs are barking. No, they're not cute golden retrievers. They're mystical beasts the size of horses, whose diet I'd rather not detail here to avoid demonetizing the video. You walk to the window and see the waning moon. You should be feeling powerful and connected to the cosmos, right?
I tried everything. Coffee, Pomodoro, and binaural beats. But nothing stuck.
Wrong. You're mentally calculating how many crossroads you need to cover today, how many lost spirits will need guidance, and whether Zeus is going to be a pain in the ass at the morning meeting. If I were you, I would have quit about 2 millennia ago. But divinity doesn't come with a notice period or an HR department to complain to. 5 in the morning, first crossroads of the day. You materialize on a dusty road near Athens, and there he is, a young warrior, sweating bullets, staring at 3 different paths like his life depends on this choice. Spoiler, it does. You hold your torches, strike that mystical oracle pose of knowing everything but not giving it away for free. I love this part. The guy looks at you with wide eyes, a mix of terror and reverence. He stammers, asking which path leads to glory. You sigh internally. It's always the same thing. Glory, riches, true love. Nobody ever asks, which path leads me to therapy? Or, how do I deal with my inferiority complex? But whatever, you point your torch to the left. Not because it's the path to glory, but because the other 2 have bandits waiting and you felt bad for the kid. He thanks you, like you just saved his life, and runs off. Next, you stand there for another 40 minutes, because 6 more people are gonna pass through this same crossroads before sunrise. It's like being a human traffic sign, just with more drama, fire, and incense. If you've ever had a repetitive job where you're basically an NPC doing the same thing 1,000 times, you understand perfectly what Hecate is feeling right now. Drop a like down below to relate to this existential pain. 7 in the morning, complete scene change. You're in a dense forest looking for specific herbs, mandrake, belladonna, mugwort. Before you think it's for some evil potion, relax. It's to prepare an ointment that'll help a midwife treat childbirth wounds. The men in white robes in Athens call this dark witchcraft. You call it advanced botany. With 3 millennia of clinical experience, you carefully harvest the plants, whispering words of power that are basically usage instructions, but sound impressive when said in archaic Greek. A snake slithers near your foot. You crouch down and pet it. Snakes have always been your allies. Misunderstood. Feared for no real reason, kinda like you. The snake coils around your arm. Company is always welcome when you spend eternity being seen as that scary goddess who lives in the dark. And now comes the worst part of the day. Brace yourself. 10 in the morning. In person. Meeting at Olympus. Yes, because apparently, being the goddess of crossroads doesn't exempt you from divine bureaucracy. Zeus is complaining about mortals. Hera is jealous about yet another mistress. Apollo is showing off his new lyre. And you're sitting in the corner, holding your torches and mentally counting how many crossroads you're missing right this second. 18. 18 places where people are making potentially disastrous choices without your guidance. Athena shoots you a look of, please get me out of here. You return it with a look of, if I could teleport without being disrespectful, I'd already be gone. Zeus asks your opinion about some random hero. You drop an enigmatic phrase that basically means, let the guy figure it out. He needs to learn the hard way. Zeus interprets it as profound wisdom. You interpret it as, they don't pay me enough to care about demigod drama number 450. The meeting lasts 3 hours. 3 hours. You ever been in a meeting that could have been an email? Well, now imagine a 3-hour meeting that could have been a messenger dove. And the worst part, you can't even scroll on your phone because phones haven't been invented yet. It's just you, your torches, and Zeus's voice echoing through all of Olympus. 1 in the afternoon. Finally, free. You materialize in a dark cave where an elderly witch is waiting for you. She's not evil. She just knows too much about the world. People fear her for it. You understand that feeling perfectly. She needs guidance for a healing ritual for a sick child in the village. And here is where the work really matters. You spend 2 hours teaching about moon phases, which herbs to use, how to channel Earth's energy. This isn't dark magic. It's ancestral knowledge that academics would call superstition, simply because it doesn't come from a bearded man in Athens. You enjoy these hours, teaching, guiding, showing someone that the power haven't quit yet. It's not for the divine salary or the prestige. It's for seeing in someone's eyes that moment when they realize they're stronger than they imagined. 4 in the afternoon, back to the crossroads. You stand there, watching. A merchant chooses the path of greed. You know exactly how this is going to end for him. It won't be pretty. A young woman chooses the path of courage. You feel a rare moment of satisfaction. An old man chooses to go back home. You get it. Not every journey needs to be epic. Sometimes going back is the bravest choice. I need to pause here and explain how frustrating your job is. You basically watch people making choices and hope they're not complete idiots. But you can't just yell, "Don't go that way." There's a giant sign that says death. You can only illuminate, suggest, emanate that energy of think it through, buddy. The rest is up to them. It's like being a therapist, except you can't say anything and they don't pay. But wait, we haven't gotten to the best part of the night yet. 7 in the evening, the sun sets, and you feel your power increase. The night is yours. The moon appears on the horizon, and you feel that ancient connection, that pulse that's been running through your veins since time began. You walk to an open field and finally breathe. Your dogs appear, less agitated now. Even they feel the peace of night. And then it happens. A spirit approaches. He's lost, confused, still hasn't processed that he's dead. You see this every day, and it never gets easier. Mortals who cling to life. Even when there's no more life to cling to, you talk to him gently, explain what happened, show him the path to the underworld. He resists, cries, then accepts. You light the way with your torches. He thanks you and disappears into the darkness that will take him to the next plane. This is also your job, guardian not only of the living who choose paths, but of the dead who need to find theirs. Is it heavy? Very, but someone's got to do it. And you learned centuries ago that death isn't the end. It's just another crossroads, the last one before the next journey. 10 at night, a young witch draws an invocation circle in a clearing. She's trembling. It's her first time. You could ignore it, could let her figure it out, but you see something in her. True courage, genuine curiosity, the desire to learn, not to dominate, you manifest. Not in a terrifying way, but as a gentle presence, a voice in her mind. You guide her through the ritual, teach about respecting nature's forces, about balance, about never taking more than you need. She leaves transformed, not because you gave her power, but because you showed her the power was already there, just waiting to be discovered. I like these moments. They're rare, but they're the ones that make everything else worthwhile. Midnight, your favorite hour. The veil between worlds is thinner now. You feel everything at once. The living making decisions, the dead finding peace, those being born, those departing. It's overwhelming and comforting simultaneously. You sit at an empty crossroads and just exist. Your torches illuminate 3 paths nobody's walking right now, but they will. Tomorrow, later, 100 years from now. The crossroads are eternal. So are the choices. You think about all the choices you've witnessed, the good decisions, the terrible ones, the mediocre ones. You question whether it makes a difference, your silent presence at these intersections. Then you remember the young woman who chose courage, the spirit who found peace, the witch who discovered her power. Yes, it makes a difference. Small, silent, but it does. 3 in the morning again. You return to your temple. Your dogs are already sleeping. Your torches keep burning, eternal, tireless, like you. You lie down and close your eyes for a few hours. Tomorrow, there are more crossroads, more lost spirits, more people making choices you'll witness in silence. They'll call you a witch, a dark goddess, a lady of shadows. When in reality, all you do is hold the light for those brave enough to walk in the dark. You are Hecate, guardian of crossroads, protector of those who seek hidden knowledge, the light in the darkness for those who have the courage to face their own mysteries. And, even being misunderstood for all eternity, you keep holding the torches because someone needs to shine when everyone's afraid of the dark. And tomorrow, as always, it all starts again at 3 in the morning with mirror in the air, beasts barking outside, and 18 crossroads waiting for you. It's better to be the goddess who holds the light than the mortal who stumbles in the shadows. But let's be real. Sometimes you envy those who can just sleep in.